So you need to look at the terminology in the contract. You must read all contracts before signing. Otherwise, they can walk off with your money and not provide the service. And you don't.
We are live. Hello, Mom Nation, and welcome to the very first Live and Learn in 2023. I am so excited. Happy New Year to you all out there. We have Amanda Long with us on today, and I'm super excited to chat with you, Amanda, because I think that what you have to tell us is like on the minds of all the brides to be out there. So we're going to talk weddings, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. So tell us just real quick, a little bit about Jam Events and why you know so much about weddings.
So I'm the owner and CEO of Jam Events. My husband is my employee. That's nice. I get to be the boss. So I created this company because I had a wedding and I did it myself and I got married. Marriage is great. The wedding was horrendous. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Oh, no.
I did not hire a wedding planner or a coordinator or do any of the things a bride should do. So I got to the venue, started getting ready. The DJ, which my husband hired off of Craigslist for $300, showed up an hour
I take it
late.
that's not the right thing to do.
That is not the right thing to do. No. But I mean, we were severely on a budget, so we did what we could. And we didn't have the advice that I have now. So he showed up an hour late. He didn't have a lot of the equipment. So my husband had to, he showed up with a 6-foot microphone cord, 6 feet. My husband had to go out to the car and dig out the 50-footer for him. It should have been a wireless microphone so that the person giving the speech can walk around. That didn't happen. So not only did he show up an hour late, he wasn't emceeing. He had no idea what to do. He left the set list at home. We had specific YouTube links for specific versions of songs. They did not get played. My husband had to give him his phone and go off of that. He played the song for our first dance during dinner, didn't announce anything. So my husband had to get up and tell him no. And then when it was time for the first dance, he played the wrong version. We spent $400 choreographing the first dance, and he played the extended version. And I'm like, okay, our dance is supposed to end now. What's going on? Why is the music still going? People are looking at us.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. And then not only that, it wasn't just the DJ. I did not confirm with my venue coordinator, which is fantastic to have a venue coordinator, but the venue coordinator works for the venue, not the bride.
Right.
So we learned after the fact that the sprinklers for the lawn where everyone was seated and dinner was being served had not been turned off. So my parents got soaked and left.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. My brother is running around with buckets trying to cover the sprinkler heads. Everybody is laughing and he's just shocked that I'm not in tears, bawling my eyes out at this point. I'm like, with everything that has gone wrong today, I don't think anything else could go wrong. So I'm just whatever at this point.
Right. Well, at that point, what are you going to do? You might as well just laugh.
Right. Yep. So the wedding ended quickly. We got to the cake cutting. Everybody took a piece to go, and that was it. So we had the first dance, cake cutting, and everybody left. Aww. So because everybody was soaked, and no, we did not get any money back. So I decided I was not going to let this happen to another bride. And don't learn from your own mistakes, learn from mine. So yeah.
Seriously. I mean, because I mean, ideally we're only doing this once, right? So, yes. I mean, you only have one shot, ideally.
Yep. Well, we're doing a redo for our 5-year anniversary.
Oh, well, yes, I don't blame you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So you then know at this point, because you've been through it and because you've worked with some other brides, up until now. So you kind of have a really good idea of the kinds of questions that you should ask for, ask your venues and ask your vendors. So can you give us just a couple of tips on that? A couple of hot questions that we should ask?
Yeah. So first thing is going to be guest count. They're going to ask you what your guest count is. You don't need to know for sure off the top of your head. Just give a rough estimate because that's going to determine your price and your package. Second, you need to know if you can bring your own vendors in or if you have to use theirs. So for mine, we had to use their catering, which is fine. It was all included. I got a fantastic deal. I spent $3,000 on my venue, and that was including the ceremony and food and beverage. And we had an open bar. So when I say budget, I mean budget. But
yeah,
if you look at my website, it still turned out pretty gorgeous. So I got all the decor and everything, mainly off of Amazon. You can rent or you can buy. You can sell afterwards, recoup your money. But yeah, so questions for venues are going to be, do I have use of the bridal suite all day? Are there going to be any other weddings on my wedding day that you're going to have to split your time between? Because as a bride, you're going to want to be the main focus. You don't want to have to share with other brides. So you need to make sure you find the venue that's going to be right for you. Is insurance going to be required, or does the venue take care of all of that? Children, to be at the wedding or to not be at the wedding. It's completely up to the bride. However, if you're having an open bar or you're being near an open body of water, get insurance.
You might want to think about that. Yeah. Definitely with water, having done events in my past for Mom Nation, not weddings, but yeah, insurance is really, really important. And it's actually not, I thought it would be a lot more expensive than it actually is. So
$115 for me.
Yeah, it's worth getting.
And then that gives you peace of mind. I also work in the insurance industry, so I'm big promoter of getting insurance and protecting yourself. But yeah, I completely lost track of the question. What was it again?
That's okay. I do that all the time. It's mom brain, right? Questions to ask venues and vendors. And we have been on the venue so far.
Okay. So vendors, what is in the contract? You must read the contract, especially when it comes to photography.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if you can't make it to my wedding? Are you going to supply me with a backup, or am I on my own finding one? And what is the refund policy? There's also a difference in terminology. Retainer fee versus deposit. Deposit implies you can get it back. Retainer, you do not get back. So you need to look at the terminology in the contract. You must read all contracts before signing. Otherwise, they can walk off with your money and not provide the service. And you don't want that. You want your wedding to go well and smoothly. Also interview them and look at their portfolios, their galleries, see if they're right for you. Read the reviews. If they don't have reviews, it doesn't mean that they do a bad job. It just means, you're more likely to come across bad reviews than good, because people are more likely to leave a review if they didn't have good service. If they had good service, that's on par and that's expected. No need for a review. Although if you truly loved your vendors, leave a review.
I agree. And a good vendor, I feel like, will reach out to you and good customer service, and we'll be like, hey, how was your experience? It was great. Cool. Can you leave me a review? I feel like a good vendor would do that.
Yes, absolutely. I do that all the time. I still have yet to get a review though. So if you use me in the future, leave a review.
Well, we got to talk about it because we got some events coming up for Mom Nation that I want to talk to you about. But anyway, I digress. So you talked about really quickly, you said it real fast in that explanation of all the tips and things to ask the venue and the vendors. You mentioned you can either rent or buy your decor. Can you go a little bit more in detail about that?
Yeah. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I don't want to, because then you might actually follow it and I might not make all the money in the world. But there are these beautiful things called charger plates. Lots of people don't do them because it's expensive. My venue showed me these. I love them. They said $10 a pop. So $10 a plate. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I went on Amazon, $1 a plate. So if you're having 100 people, you don't want to spend $10 per plate.
I mean, and that's just on the plate. That's not on the food that goes on it.
Right. That's on the decor. And this is beautiful, but it's plastic disposable. The one I just showed you, not disposable, but this is disposable, and it is beautiful. This
It is.
Costco type stuff.
And it looks like it's solid enough to be able to carry, you know, when I go to the table and get my food, it's like, it's big plate. All right.
Yeah. So this would go under the plate.
Oh, it does. Oh,
yeah.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah. So essentially it would look like this.
Oh, that's
so
so
if
cute.
you pretend that this is the plate and this one back here is the charger plate, that's essentially what it's supposed to look like. But this is charger plate. And then it's a plastic one, a disposable plastic one. And then you can have a disposable plastic plate on top of it. And like you can get real looking silverware that is plastic. If you're on a plastic budget, you can still make it look glamorous. You can see photos on my website, because I've done a plastic wedding before. $600 for the decor for, I think, 75 people.
Wow.
So that wasn't bad. That included linen napkins, tablecloths, mirrors to go on the table with candles, vases, flowers, diamond scatter, a rose petal scatter, you name it. So I do a special thing where I fold the napkins into roses. So, yeah,
that's so cute. I know you spend a lot of time and you put a lot of your heart into it. I know this because we've talked about it before. But okay, so you could have rented those plates for $10, but you could have bought them for $1. And then you said something real quick about selling it after to recoup
yeah, if you're not a person like me who hoards all the wedding decor to use for future weddings, then if you're not getting into the wedding business and you're just getting married and then you want to declutter, sell it. There are tons of brides and bridal groups that are looking to buy, and they'd rather buy cheaper than buy new, especially if they're having 300 plus people at their wedding. That's a lot. So yeah, you can easily get 250 charger plates for $250 on Marketplace or in a bridal group.
And it sounds like, I mean, this is not my gig, so I don't know. My husband will laugh and be like, yeah, she is not a hostess by any stretch. So it sounds like the charger plate doesn't get used. You don't put food in it.
No, you don't. It could be toxic. It's not food safe. So so my charger plates that I showed you, they're 13 inches. So you would do like a 10-inch or a 9-inch dinner plate. So you get that beautiful rim. And then when the photographer comes around snapping photos, it adds more elegance and glamour to your wedding.
I learned something new today.
Yep. It's all about the little details.
Yeah, no kidding. And then you had mentioned real quick in there, I just want you to go into more detail about it if you don't mind, how to glam on a budget. Like, I know this is probably part of it. Look for, secondhand items to buy from these bridal groups, but what else do you have?
So what I do for my brides, since I'm planner, coordinator, decorator, and I make my husband be the DJ. So it's a complete package, and he MCs. He's not going to leave you hanging and show up late and play the wrong song.
You are never going through that again, are you?
Never. So on a budget, I'd highly recommend these on a budget. You can get a pack of 40 for $40. And you can just throw them away at the end because they, they're flimsy, wobbly, but they stay on the table. And then if you're doing like a buffet, you grab your plate up at the buffet, you bring it down, you set it on there. So you can have, lots of people think plastic is tacky. I am one of them, but it's about how you present it. So if you're just having red Solo cups, no, don't do that. So you can have one piece champagne glasses that are plastic. A lot of the ones that you buy that are plastic, you have to put the stem into the base, super glue it so it doesn't come out. But they have the ones that are a solid piece and it looks elegant. I don't know if you saw my Christmas pictures. I probably haven't posted them yet, but we did for Thanksgiving. We went all out with China. at my parents' house. We used their china, we used their silverware. I posted the pictures, lots of love there. And then for Christmas, since they're elderly, they're like, we're not doing this again. We were cleaning for hours. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
So for Christmas, it's going to be all disposable. It was still beautiful, still elegant, but it was all plastic.
No kidding. I did see the China set. I saw that on your business page.
Yeah, so I'll have to upload the Christmas set, but you can do it. And when it comes to a venue, you want to ask them if they're providing stemware and everything. So Villa Sienna, I checked that out. That's a venue. It's gorgeous, lots of ivy. It's in Gilbert, but I was having a smaller wedding. I was having under 50 people. They were still going to charge me at minimum for 50 people. And then to add actual stemware in instead of plastic, it was going to cost me 50 cents all the way up, per piece, all the way up to $50. So by the time all is said and done, and I calculated it, that venue was going to cost me $26,000. And I wasn't even going to have all the people there. And I wanted glassware. I wanted actual porcelain plates. I wanted butler passed hors d'oeuvres. So we actually, I was avoiding Encanterra Country Club. I saw it online and I'm like, there's no way I can afford that. But we went to go look at it anyway. They're like $3,000, everything's included. I get married at the ceremony. The linens are included. I had to provide the chair covers and the sashes. But the stemware, actual glass stemware, actual porcelain plates, nothing plastic, all for $3,000, including beef tenderloin, roasted chicken, and prime rib. Those were my 3 entrees I selected. And then I had an apple salad and a strawberry salad. So I had 2 salads. And then obviously dessert was the cake. And it all for $3,000 with an open bar.
Wow.
Yes. You want to know how I did it?
How?
I got married on a Thursday.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Because
if I got married on a Friday, it'd be $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh, wow. So it doubles plus. What about a Saturday? Is it triple?
So Saturdays and Sundays are going to be your most expensive days. Fridays will be a little cheaper, but if you do a Monday through a Thursday, you're going to be saving a lot of money that you can put into other things like your decor, or better yet, your honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Are there any tips, tricks, or anything else that you wanted to say that we left out?
I'm not sure. Do you have any questions?
I don't. I think you were pretty darn thorough about that, but let's have you back on because I'm sure that there are other things that we can talk about in terms of planning for events, because I know that you don't only do weddings, but you do other things too, correct?
We do everything from baby showers to anniversary parties, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, regular 16-year-old parties. The quinceañeras and the sweet 16s, they're a little pricey because that's like a wedding in and of itself. Especially
I just
if
went
you watch
to one.
MTV.
They are crazy cool.
Yeah. But no, we do everything, kids' birthday parties. And we've learned that the DJ's not the hit when it comes to the kids. It's the bubble machines, and we have a lot. So
that is definitely true. They love that stuff. And the fog machine too. My kid thinks that's so darn cool. Well, awesome. So if our mama members want to get in touch with you and consult, ask you questions, is that cool?
Absolutely. We're open for anything and everything. We do the entire state. And right now, as much as I love weddings, we will do a wedding if somebody wants to. But our main income right now is coming from the kids and birthday parties. So if you have a birthday party you want to throw, you just let us know. We provide decor and everything.
Awesome. I love it. And where can people catch up with you on Facebook? Is that the best way?
Facebook. Yep. And then we have our Facebook page. And then you can message us on there. It'll have our office line on there if you prefer calling. But yeah, just you can even private message me. So I respond all the time.
Yes, you do. I can attest. You are great at that. Well, I linked your Facebook page for Jam Events in the show notes here. And for those of you that are out there that would rather speak with Amanda directly and message her directly, she is Amanda Kathleen Long on Facebook. Well, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Bye, guys.